I know it's been quite a while. I don't have the right background going on as well. It's been quite a while since I started a stream. So today I'm going to bring on some. Actually, this tool is actually very interesting, right? So I'm going to be sharing about that very shortly. So hey everyone, so thanks for being here today on Decisive Marketer Talks, right? So I'm Henry Ho, and I'm an entrepreneur, digital marketer, and most importantly, a software enthusiast. Today I have um, right here with me the right here with us, right? Uh, it's a how is it? Uh, email encryption tool, right? It's to secure your email conversations, right? And so I have reviewed this on my channel, and I think it's an amazing tool. Especially, we don't get a lot of this kind of tools around. I would say you know uh, in the lifetime deal community, right? So I'm so excited to have Laza here to share with you his background, and he's going to be showing us some of the new updates coming in, right? So if you, the in fact, I believe some of the features are live already, right? So if you stay till the end, uh, you know, you will get to learn a lot of cool stuff with Sealit, right? So let me just bring on Lazar right here. Hey Lazar, how is it going?
Hey, pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for having me
Awesome.
on.
Yep. I apologize for the delay. A lot of issues because it's been like more than a year since I actually streamed on my channel and as well as the community. Right.
No problem. Just to let people know, and unfortunately, I have a hard stop it in 15 minutes for another call, but I definitely think we can get through a lot in that time. So why don't
Sure,
we
no
why don't we get
problem.
started?
Right. Right. So can you tell us about what are the new features with Sealit and you know I believe you want to share with us like the how it works, right? The features, like, so I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for that. I mean, before we get into the features, just a bit of background. The about Sealit and really what sets us apart. We really set out to commercialize and build the first true zero trust based encryption model, not only for emails but for all of your business communications and collaborations. We kind of taken say cybersecurity and in collaboration and flipped it from protecting walls and perimeters and instead building a sophisticated encryption identity that every person carries in their phone. It's entirely decentralized, so it is effectively guaranteeing a level of privacy between you and your collaborators. It means that no tech company, not Sealit, not anyone else, no intruders, no governments, nobody can decrypt any of your sensitive data that you're sharing. But at the same time, we really focused to make it super easy to use and super friendly from anything from integrations with Outlook, Slack, Gmail, so that everything happens where you work and how you operate, through to actually adding productivity features, which I'll talk about here. And a lot of those features came from the LTD community. Things like, wouldn't it be great if we can send a gigabyte file directly from email and not have to use like an unsecure channel to do that? Or wouldn't it be great if, from a sales perspective, if every secure email I sent, I can get notified when someone reads it, and then basically be able to follow up with them. So a lot of those things we baked into the platform, and that's something we'll be talking about today. New features, the exciting stuff. All of you guys who have subscribed to the lifetime deal have this. The biggest new features that's out is secure spaces. The concept behind secure spaces is that it allows any size organization, large and small, to very quickly set up what we call a cloud secure space, which is effectively a data room for clients in order to be able to structure, organize, and monitor files, but in a way that absolutely no one other than you and your recipients and collaborators can access the data. We can't decrypt anything, and nobody else can either. So once you show up or your client shows up with their digital identity, they get all the benefits of cloud, all the backups, all the cloud store, the efficiency of being able to organize and structure files. Yet at the same time, there's no centralization of risk with a vendor or a particular country or any such thing. Uh, we'll jump into that in a second. The other features, actually, I'm going to start showing you first because if you guys remember, we launched Sealit Communicate with the lifetime deal community, and that's basically email and Slack encryption and these kinds of things. It was very powerful from an encryption side, but very rudimentary from kind of an efficiency or productivity side. So let me show you what we changed. And I'm going to share my screen now and kind of show you, a couple of use cases and a couple of enhancements that are there that you can use today. Um, all right, let's proceed. Great. So when you start a Sealit email, now it doesn't have to be from Outlook. It could be from Gmail. It could be from Outlook Online. It's available everywhere, and it's pretty much a uniform experience in terms of what you get. We've added a whole bunch of new features that are available in your side pane, which will show you in terms of what you're able to send, what you're able to do. So from the feedback of the AppSumo deal, a couple of things we've added: the ability to choose what you encrypt. So I can say, I'd like to encrypt only the attachments because, quite frankly, I'm not really concerned about the body of the message, and that actually increases the engagement from the client because they can read your email, they read your signature, but then the attachments are not only encrypted but they're tracked. Require authentication is a new one. So if you're sending something not as sensitive, for example, some minor marketing document that you'd still kind of like to keep private, you can require the need for them to use the Sealit app to authenticate, but you also set an expiry for that so that it only lives for a couple of weeks or a month, whatever that is. And a hugely popular feature, which is absolutely great because as soon as your client reads something, you'll be notified on a push notification on your phone, and it's great from not only tracking sensitive data, highly sensitive data, anywhere in the world it goes, but also from a sales engagement, we find it's hugely helpful. So, for example, in this case, in this example, I'm sending a proposal to a particular client, and I'd really like to know as soon as that client reads it. So it's security, but also productivity joined together. Now, what we've also added, we've been asked to say that can we circumvent the limits in email in terms of attachment sizes, and we've done exactly that. So we've added this ability to encrypt and end-to-end encrypt large files. We're expanding this to 5 GB as we speak, and it effectively allows you to simply drag and drop email or I should say files directly in here, and load them into an encrypted space that's available there for your clients. Now, when we did this and we launched secure spaces as well, our clients said, well, this is great. I can actually attach huge files. I can do all these things. But now that I have secure spaces, which I remind you is kind of a cloud data room that's zero trust encrypted, I'd like to also be able to directly from my email say, also make it available in my secure space, which we can do here. And the last thing we've added in the communicate side for emails is the self-destruct, which is kind of inspired by Mission Impossible. The concept is, certain things shouldn't live forever, and even though they're encrypted, you can say, in 3 months, I want everything to be destroyed, deleted, and completely permanently terminated from existence. So pretty straightforward. I'm going to click send, and you'll see another feature we've added as well: the ability to monitor who you're sending emails to. So in other words, I have a professional email here at Sealit, but I also have a Gmail address that I haven't sent things to before. And in this case, we'll actually look at your sending patterns, and we'll say, well, this looks like it could be a problem. So let's hold off and let's look at that. I'll click send anyways, and the email will be on its way. All right. So the reading side of things is still the same as before. We've added a lot of user experience changes, which you won't be able to see here, but you can try yourself. When the first time reader is accessing the email, we've made the pin option much more prominent, so that if in case somebody doesn't have a smartphone, they can still access it without any confusion. Typically, you either decrypt it directly in Outlook, or if it's not a Sealit client, what happens here is you typically get notified on your phone, and then you use that notification to decrypt. Just bear with me for a sec. Now I'm actually sitting on my patio, so this is probably the slowest internet I can get. But in any case, the point is there's no passwords, nothing to remember. Your clients use the biometrics. They simply approve the access for their data, and in doing so, they get what's it called, access to the documents. Now within this itself, within the app itself, you have the ability then to do all of the things that I just showed you here, including obviously start new conversations, respond to things, attach files, monitor, and so on. So that's the main improvement in Sealit Communicate, all of the business efficiency and all of the options and encryption. I'll show you next a little bit about the portal and a couple of enhancements there before we jump into secure spaces. So within the portal, of course, we have all of the monitoring tracking. So in other words, the ability to monitor and see, exactly where certain things are happening from. So I'm able to see, who's doing what are they doing, and where from. And this is hugely valuable from not only security perspective, but also in understanding of how your confidential data flows as a business. Um, a lot of the stuff is still familiar for you. You guys have used it. The new one here is the secure spaces. Clicking on secure spaces takes us to where we need to be. And simply clicking a new secure space allows you to create that end-to-end zero trust encrypted secure space. We'll call it, let's say, Andrew C. Cox. And for that client or for that particular company, you're able to do a couple of things. You can set the parent space, which tells you exactly where you want it to go. So I can say proposals, for example. But also, which is quite unique, you can select where you want the space to be hosted. We find that some companies, they operate in Europe, but they have clients in the United States, for instance, or vice versa. And it's hugely valuable to be able to very quickly, with no IT overhead, say, for my US client, I'm going to actually position the space in the United States, and which means that all the documents and all the secure, even though it's end-to-end encrypted, is going to be hosted on our United States server nodes, which makes it compliant with obviously HIPAA regulation if you're in the medical, or CCP, the California Protection Act, or any such regulation. Apart from that, it's super simple. You set up who should be the administrator, and then of course you can go and invite people into the secure space from here, and obviously specify what they should or should not be able to do. So that's it. Pretty painless. You set up the secure space, and then when you're accessing the secure space, you basically go into the proposals. For instance, we've done a whole bunch here, and here we effectively have all the documents, everything that's shared, as well as access privileges. So I can say who can have access to the space, and of course activities which are irrelevant for this space. So I can see per secure space exactly where from in the world people are accessing these documents, who is accessing these documents, and what are they doing? Are they uploading, downloading, changing things, and so on? A big bonus feature, and cognizant of time, I'm just going to jump into straight away, that we build as well as a Slack encryptor. And this is free for everyone. So you can use this in a free plan, and you can use this on any plan. The concept here is from Slack, if you want to send something sensitive like a password, you simply type Sealit, /Sealit, and then your message. And when you do that, the message will be end-to-end encrypted, and it will require the person to prove their digital identity prior to being able to decrypt the message itself. I think that's obviously very, very useful for quick communications within the organization itself or certain external clients, and it's hugely helpful for you not to have to worry about where things go off in the cloud, or where they end up when you're doing when you're actually communicating with clients. All right. With that in mind, I'll just touch upon the file encryption as well very quickly, which we've left pretty much the same. There were some performance enhancements, but if you guys remember the concept of not using passwords for files, but instead using Sealit, looks like this. You can say, I'd like to secure with Sealit. And then in doing so, you can say, I'd like to share access with my colleagues, for example. And this becomes effectively a vault that the only way you can get in and out of this file is with your biometrics, with your zero trust encryption key. I apologize for speaking slightly faster than usual because I do have a client call coming up as well. I'm going to stop screen share and take as many questions as I can in the given time that's available. All right, I'll pass it back to you, Henry. You're in mute, I believe. Um,
Apologies, I realized I was muted. Right, so yeah, so we have a question from one of our community members. He or she asked, when will Secure Space launch on the mobile app?
I would expect it to be in the next 3 months. That's according to our current roadmap. To be honest, most of the use cases for secure spaces are collaboration when you're actually working on a desktop computer. You're actually sharing larger volumes of files, larger size of files, and things of that nature. On the mobile app, it is nice, but it's not as relevant because normally business docs and everything you kind of want on your desktop anyways. So currently, the Sealit app acts as an authenticator for the secure space, and it has that secret key which nobody else has. So you're able to effectively, provide a layer of encryption that is only between yourself and your clients. Again, no centralization of risk with Microsoft, Google, or ourselves, or anybody else for that matter.
All right, I see that this new update has really changed Sealit, because it's no longer just sort of like privacy, because you're adding that ability for someone to send large files via email as well, right? So I saw the secure spaces and the fact that you can create multiple ones. Why would you want to create multiple ones? Do you have to separate them between different clients, or because when you share a file, is that do you share access to the entire space, or it's just the file itself?
No, you add the file to the secure space and you specify who you want to have access to the secure space. So depending on who you are, let's say for example you're a doctor, you may very well create a secure space per patient, and in doing so, you're effectively creating the ability to store their findings, their results, and everything else in a way which is compliant, which is regulated, which is entirely secure, and which guarantees that only those people will be able to read it. In certain other industries, let's say for example digital marketing, you'll probably want to create a secure space per target client or per option client. And in doing so, you're able to then share not only your intellectual property but your business proposals, your videos, anything else you need to share. Again, maintaining the privacy and ensuring that nobody else is getting access to your data.
So
Um,
that means for the secure space itself is between you and the other person, and that person will be able to access all the files in the secure space itself.
that's it. You create granularity so you can create kind of whatever you need, and you can get them to access the secure space, which is great.
All right, cool. I think this is a very interesting feature. I know you got to jump onto a client call already, so I don't want to take your time. We do have quite a few people on the stream itself, but if you have questions, could you just leave it on the YouTube, the stream itself, or in the Facebook group stream? The team behind Sealit, they are checking the comments as well. So I'm sure they will jump in and respond to you, right? So thanks so much for your time, Lazar, and I apologize for all the some of the delay before the stream, and all the best to Sealit. And I know they also have a product hunt that was launched, I think 1 or 2 days back. I did my part in upvoting and supporting them. So they are still trying to gut for the product hunt of the week as well. So if you even if you're not a Sealit user, I hope that you support them as well, right? Anything else you like to say to close off this meeting, I mean this stream itself, Lazar?
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for organizing. Super helpful. Thanks for everybody for joining in. Any questions you guys have, just go on our website. We have a good chat feature, and support@sealit.id is always available. Any of you who'd like a personalized setup call that you have the LTD, or you'd like to sign up separately, reach out to our team. They'll be happy to help you.
All right,
Awesome.
awesome, right? Right. Thanks
Thanks,
so
everyone.
much, Lazar, and thanks everyone for being on the stream, right? Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye.